Hello, I'm Brad Malone, Vice President of Consulting for Navigate Management Consulting and COO of Solutions 360. I'd like to provide some context for the video you're about to see. We're working with Joe Rose of GENCOMM, and they've been a long-term client of both Navigate Management Consulting and Solutions 360 using Q360. Over the past year, they've had a lot of turnover, and many of the internal processes that they had used had never been documented or trained. So Joe reached out to us and really looked at how do we rejuvenate the use of Q360. They'd let that lapse because no one knew how to use it, gone down another software path, which they found was not the answer at all. And so they wanted to come back and really grasp what's the key metrics, what are the key processes, how do we use Q360 to its fullest potential and capability, especially with Joe and Clayton becoming the new co-owners of GENCOMM. So please listen to the video. It's been an exciting journey with them, and just understanding again what their needs are, how to best use Q360 in terms of profitability, planning, budgeting, and forecasting the future. So enjoy. Hi, Brad Malone, Vice President of Consulting for Navigate Management Consulting. With me, Joe Rose, co-owner of GENCOMM.
Yes.
You're currently going through, I'll call a rejuvenation of Solutions 360, Q360. Within that, we're also spending some time doing leadership training with you. Kind of like, what should I be looking at? Why should I be looking at? How are you finding that?
Well, so may I?
Yeah,
may I
do that.
So we are experiencing the downside of a departure from Q360. And we believed and kind of fell for a lot of the gimmicks of the new Flash quote software, something a little bit more online based, but quickly realized that the data points you start with don't end up going to your operations or your billing department. You can't create a cost inside of most systems and transfer them through and track them. It's almost like, and I think, I'm not a programmer, but we get a quotation or we get a contract that's converted. That's so individual throughout our whole process. We lost that and flew blind for a long time, about 10 months. During that time, we attempted to buy the company without financials.
Okay.
So for anybody trying to achieve that, going to a bank without a strong financial quarter over quarter or month over month and convincing them to loan you something on a yearly basis is really difficult and long. So right off the bat, without that structure, you don't have anything to represent your company. Now for Clayton and I, so as we get into ownership, we find ourselves being in a place where we don't know what to do every day.
Right.
We know how to sell, and we know how to work in IT and processes, but we don't know a lot of the how do you truly preside or work through
like the presidential stuff.
The presidential stuff, right. Yeah. And so Brad's introduced us to Joel, and Joel became quickly a mentor and hero of us in one meeting. He answered questions that I've never even known to ask. And so we're looking forward to, with the reboot, being able to take the core data, the core reporting system, turn that into our COO and CEO training.
Absolutely.
And being able to then integrate what you're teaching us as our training path of how to run a company. So we got a lot riding on it. The departure was painful, but our time away was painful-er, if that's a word, right? And the only thing I would say is it's a lot easier to go in and make changes to your core data system than falling for a new, my software integrates with another software package. That's probably the biggest lie on the market right now.
Right. And we are the one-stop shop.
And you are the one-stop shop. So we're trying to standardize, soup to nuts. And again, you've helped us put together a process flow that becomes our playbook.
Yep.
And you buy a company, and the day after you sign the papers, you look at each other and go, "What do we do now?"
Right. Well,
what do we point to? And if some of the culture previous was messy or not organized, or you didn't adopt it, you kind of are flying by yourself. So
we look forward to your success.
We look forward to the success.